YouTube viewers out there? It is Sebastian and Sebastian's Movie Game Time. And today on episode 56, I'm going to be reviewing, talking about the Decent Family Kid movies, part one. So let's start off, shall we? We have Charlotte's Web. It's about Wilbur the pig at a farm who befriended other animals. And of course, Wilbur the pig befriended with Charlotte the spider. Um, It's based on a children's book, Charlotte's Web, if you didn't know that. Um, Charlotte's Web stars the voice talent of Debbie Reynolds and Henry Gibson. I give Charlotte's Web 1 out of 3 stars. We have The Secret of Nim. It's about a mouse who must save her son as she fights a colony of ants. Stars the voice talents of Elizabeth Hartman, Dara Jacoby, Shannon Doherty, Will Wheaton. The Secret of Nim. I get The Secret of Nim 1 out of 3 stars. The Land Before Time. This is the first movie. Land Before Time, the first movie, is about the adventures of a young group of dinosaurs as they must reunite with the other dinosaur family in the Great Valley. Starring the voice talents of Pat Hingle. I get The Land Before Time 1 out of 3 stars. We have All Dogs Go to Heaven. It's about a canine angel named Charlie who goes back to Earth as he ends up befriended of a young orphan girl who speaks to animals. It's starring the voice talents of Burt Reynolds, Lonnie Anderson, and Dom DeLuise. I give All Dogs Go to Heaven 1 out of 3 stars. Dennis the Menace Strikes Again is about troublemaker Dennis the Menace who still harasses his neighbor, Mr. Wilson, while at the same time he must stop two guys who are two con artists. This is a direct-to-video sequel to the first Dennis the Menace movie with Walter Matthau. But Dennis the Menace Strikes Again. It stars Don Rickles, George Kennedy, Justin Cooper, Betty White, and Carrot Top. There were some great fun moments in Dennis the Menace Strikes Again. I get Dennis the Menace Strikes Again 2 out of 3 stars. We have Muppets from Space. It's about Gonzo the Great, who's been contacted by his alien family, but when a pair of agents kidnapped him, Kermit the Frog and the rest of the Muppet gang, they must rescue Gonzo to help him to reunite with his alien family. It's starring F. Murray Abraham, Jeffrey Tambor, Ray Liotta, David Arquette, Andy McDowell, along with the voice talents of Dave Goelz. I give Muppets from Space 2 out of 3 stars. We have The Amazing Panda Adventure. It's about an American boy who's visiting his father in China, befriended with the baby panda who was kidnapped by two poachers, hunters, as the young American boy and the panda go on an adventure. It stars Stephen Lane. Amazing Panda Adventure, excitement, thrilling adventure. It has that. I give The Amazing Panda Adventure 1 out of 3 stars. Three Ninjas Kick Back is about 3 young martial artist kids as they must help out their grandfather who might be in danger. It stars Victor Wan, Max Alien Slade, and Sean Fox. I like the Three Ninja movies. The Three Ninja movies are so fun. And they always have slapstick comic violence. I like that kind of thing, wackiness, the violence tone of it. I give Three Ninjas Kick Back 2 out of 3 stars. We have another Three Ninjas movie called Three Ninjas Knuckle Up. It's about three ninja kids, Rocky, Colt, and Tom Tom, as they must help out a young girl to defeat a ruthless businessman. It stars Victor Wan, Charles Napier. Three Ninjas Knuckle Up There's some great funny action comedic moments, like the Free Ninja Kids. They go up against biker dudes on guys on bikes, and they have a comic fight at this small town right towards the end of the movie. I thought it was pretty funny. I give Free Ninjas Knuckle Up 2 out of 3 stars. Matilda's about a young girl named Matilda who who lives with not so good parents, who goes to school where a mean and cruel principal, as Matilda meets a nicer teacher who has secrets of her own. Matilda stars Mara Wilson, Danny DeVito, Rhea Perlman, Paul Rubens, Tammy Durrell, and Jacqueline Sturgill. I give Matilda 2 out of 3 stars. We have Big Bully. It's about a man who comes back to his old hometown where his bully, who is now a married man, who waited for him, who's waiting for him all these years. It stars Rick Moranis, Tom Arnold, Julian Phillips, Curtis Armstrong, Carol Kane, um, and Don Knotts and Gregory Smith. I like the little mean bully pranks at the end of the showdown between the two main guys. I thought that was funny. I get Big Bully 2 out of 3 stars. We have Magic in the Mirror. It's about a young girl named Mary Martin who goes for a magical mirror that takes her to a fantasy world where she meets ducks who goes by the name of drakes who will make human people into tea. Now, what does that mean? Well, okay, the drakes are ducks. They were grab a human person and they were for the I mean they were for the human person and this giant crock pot or just a giant pot, and then they'll have something to crush and smash them, and out comes like a water liquid, but they're made of human people is tea, and they will bring the tea over to the queen of the drake to take a sip of the tea, and they're actually drinking human people. They're actually drinking human. They're drinking all the drake or ducks. They're actually drinking human people out of teas because they were crushed out human person out there dropping them in this giant pot, and then it will smash and crush them, and they'll be drinking tea made of out of human people. I know it sounds ridiculous, a ridiculous idea, and it is ridiculous, and it doesn't make sense, but these are kind of the movies that because this movie came out in the 90s, and there were a lot of there were a lot of weird, you could say weird sometimes, movies that especially kid movies that came out in the 90s. So yeah, so this is the first Magic in the Mirror. It stars Jamie Renee Smith. That's the first Magic in the Mirror, and now we have a sequel. Surprise! There's a sequel to the first Magic in the Mirror. It's called Magic in the Mirror Foul Play. It's about a girl named Mary Margaret from the first Magic in the Mirror, as she asks the two mirror minder people to help her after the ducks or drakes as they come through a magical mirror to ruin the young girl's real life world and to make human people, all of them, tea. So this is a sequel to the first Magic in the Mirror movie called Magic in the Mirror Foul Play. It stars Jamie Renee Smith. Um, there were some great outrageous, weird, funny moments in Magic in the Mirror Foul Play. I get Magic in the Mirror Foul Play 2 out of 3 stars. We have We have Baby Genesis. It's about evil scientist woman has created a super intelligent of talking babies, where one of the babies escapes and plans to foil the evil scientist woman's plans. Um, you know the ending climax of Baby Genesis? Well, if you go to Las Vegas and you know that hotel, Circus Hotel and the casino in Vegas, Circus, and in the back of that Circus Hotel, there's that amusement park, indoor amusement park called the Adventure Dome. Well, actually, that's where the big climax. That's where you had the big climax. Kind of the end of the movie is at the Adventure Dome at the Circus Hotel in Las Vegas. If you didn't know that, if you see the movie or you just skip towards the end of that movie and you see, oh yeah, it is the same. It is filmed at the indoor amusement park that in the movie takes place in. If you didn't know that, so it's kind of fun. Baby Genesis, it stars Kathleen Turner, Christopher Lloyd, Kim Cattrall, and Peter McNichol. I give Baby Genesis 1 out of 3 stars. We have the Iron Giant is about a young boy who secretly befriended a metal Iron Giant. As they bond with each other, they must both go into hiding from the U.S. government. It's starring the voice talents of Vin Diesel, Harry Connick Jr., Jennifer Aston, Christopher McDonald. I give the Iron Giant 2 out of 3 stars. We have Stuart Little. It's about a family who adopt a young mouse named Stuart Little, but at the same time, the family's pet cat is trying to get rid of him. It stars Gina Davis, Hugh Laurie, Johnson Lipnicki, along the voice talents of Michael J. Fox, Nathan Lane, Steve Zahn, and Chaz Palminteri. Stuart Little, there's some great scenes in the Stuart Little movie. I give Stuart Little 2 out of 3 stars. We had the adventures of Elmo and Grouchland. It's about Elmo and the Sesame Street friends who send Elmo's blanket to Grouchland as Elmo must go to Grouchland to retrieve his blanket. It stars Mandy Patinkin and Vanessa Williams. I get Adventures of Elmo and Grouchland 1 out of 3 stars. We have Richie Rich, Christmas Wish. It's about a rich kid named Richie Rich who makes a wish that his wish is not a wish he was never been born as he goes through time to get his wish back of knowing everyone that he cares about. This is a director sequel, Richie Rich, sequel called Richie Rich Christmas Wish. It started, but Richie Rich Christmas Wish. It has nothing to do with the first Richie Rich movie, if you're wondering. This is completely different, a sequel, different on its own. Richie Rich Christmas Wish stars Derek Gallagher, Eugene Levy, um, Martin Mull, and Michelle Trachtenberg. And speaking about Michelle Trachtenberg, she passed she died early on this year, 2025. She died this year, Michelle Trachtenberg. And that was very sad because I'm not sure you didn't know this, but Michelle Trachtenberg and me included, we were me and her, we were from that 90s era. We were totally the 90s kids. Me and her we were totally the 90s kids. I'm from the 90s just like she was, but I wasn't like a child star who started in movies and TV shows back then, but she did. But but still, me and Michelle Trachtenberg were from the same era, childhood, which is the 90s. So when I heard about her passing, Michelle Trachtenberg, I was kind of shocked and I was kind of sad because she's from my childhood era, along with me. And I always liked Michelle Trachtenberg. I always liked her when I saw her acting when she was at that young girl age. I always been a fan of her since then when I was a kid. I mean, Here at the Spy is the one that I really had a dream crush on her. Michelle Trachtenberg, she was like my dream girl crush. Uh, that I wish, she was my dream girl crush, ever since the 90s when I saw her in her movie Harriet the Spy. So I was kind of sad that Michelle Trachtenberg died this year. I was very sad that, a person from my childhood era had died. I was very sad about it. So, but Michelle Trachtenberg, she's in this sequel, Richie Rich Christmas Wish. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, Michelle Trachtenberg. She was at the young girl age when she did that Richie Rich sequel movie. And yeah, but she passed away this year. She's no longer around anymore. So it's kind of sad if I mention it or talk about it. But, you know, so I get Richie Rich Christmas Wish 2 out of 3 stars. We have Joseph, King of Dreams. It's about a young man named Joseph who gets sold into slavery by his half brothers as as Joseph becomes the ruler of Egypt. Who tells the other Egyptian people that he has like powers, he can see what lies ahead of them in the future, years to come. It stars the voice talents of Ben Affleck, Joseph, King of Dreams. There's a song in the movie I like. It's called Better Than You and I. I think that's even sound Better Than You and I or Better Than I, something like that. I like that song and in the film. I get Joseph, King of Dreams 1 out of 3 stars. We have the little vampire. It's about a young boy who befriended who who lived in Scotland, where he befriended with family of vampires who are on the run from a modern day vampire hunter. It stars Johnson Lipnicki. Little Vampire. I saw this movie at the movie theater. The Little Vampire when it came out in the year 2000. I get the Little Vampire 2 out of 3 stars. My Dog Skip is about a teenage boy who meets and befriended a dog named Skip in the 1940s. It's based on the book. I never read the book, and after watching the movie, I kind of don't want to read the book because I seen the movie My Dog Skip that the book is based upon, and I already know what happens. And yeah, I never read the book, and I don't think I will never will read the book after watching the movie. I'll just say that. My Dog Skip stars Frankie Muniz, Kevin Bacon, Diane Lane, and Luke Wilson. But there's one scene I do like in My Dog Skip is when where the dog Skip is driving is in the driver's seat of the family's car and he's driving down that little town. He's driving the car in the driver's seat, driving the car straight into that little small town. I thought, I just thought that's a funny moment scene that the dog is driving in the driver's seat. I just thought that's like a funny moment scene. Um, my dog Skip, I give it 1 out of 3 stars. We have Ice Age. It's about a mammoth, a tiger, and a sloth become unlikely heroes, while at the same time they must protect a human child. It stars the voice talents of Ray Romano, Dennis Leary, John Leguizamo, Goran Novichnik, Jack Black, and Cedric the Entertainer. Ice Age, um, Ice Age is one of those family kid movies that I didn't particularly enjoy watching, but you know, um, I give I give the first Ice Age 1 out of 3 stars. We have Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. It's about the Mystery Inc. gang, Scooby Doo and the gang, as they reunite together as they go on Moonscar Island, where they famously meet cat people and zombies. This is not my favorite zombie, and this is not my favorite what you call Scooby Doo animated film or cartoon. I wouldn't say it's not the best or my favorite, but I mean, I thought it was okay. Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. It stars the voice talents of Scott Ennis, Mary Kate Bergman, Frank Rilker. B.J. Ward, Tara Strong, Adrian Babu, and Mark Hamill. Um, I give Scooby Doo on Zombie Island 2 out of 3 stars. We have Home Alone 4, taking back the house. It's about a boy named Kevin McAllister who ends up who plans to foil the two web bandit old friends that he meets again. But this has nothing to do with Kevin McAllister. This is another child who has a character's name, Kevin McAllister. It's not the McClay. It's not the Kevin McAllister that Macaulay Culkin played in the first Home Alone movie. This is a whole different kid. This is a different a kid who's playing the character Kevin McAllister. But it's not. It's not Macaulay Culkin's Kevin McAllister. It's a different kid. Just in case if you're a little bit confused. Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House. It stars French Stewart, Mike Winberg, and Jason Bigay. You can see this movie, Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House. It's on Disney Plus. If it's still there, if you could find it, it's on Disney Plus. Home Alone 4, I give it, and you have Jason Bigay in the film because Jason Bigay is known for Chicago PD but I give Home Alone 4 1 out of 3 stars. We have Stuart Little 2. It's about the little family. It's about Stuart Little 2. It's about the little family, and Stuart realizes that Stuart has to meet a bird, which tells him that we're a falcon is after Stuart. Stuart Little 2. This is a sequel to the first Stuart Little movie. Um Thriller 2 stars the voice talents of Michael J. Fox, Nathan Lane, Melanie Griffith, James Woods, and as the human people, Gina Davis, Hugh Laurie, Johnson Lipnicki. I give Thriller Little 2 1 out of 3 stars. And we have the Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas. It's a prequel to the first Flintstones film where Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble first met Velma and Betty. Apparently this is a prequel. This is a prequel before the first original Flintstones movie. It stars Mark Addy, Stephen Baldwin, Jane Kowalski, Kristen Johnston, John Collins, Thomas Gibson, and Alan Cumming. And also there's and also do you know who's also in this movie, Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas? Do you want to know who's in it? Kristen Stewart. That's right. You heard me, Kristen Stewart of the Twilight movies. She is in if you don't see her or not in the movie, but she's in the movie. She's in the Flintstones Beer Rock Vegas movie, Kristen Stewart, because her mother, I think her mother, Jules Stewart, was the script supervisor. And Kristen Stewart, and as she got her daughter, Kristen Stewart's appearance to be in the Flintstones Vegas movie. And I thought, oh, interesting. So her mother was the script supervisor, and she told the people behind this making movie, you can put my daughter in your movie as a background extra. And that's what they did. And if you remember when Fred Flintstone takes Velma to that little midway, when they're playing the midway games, you know, there's a quick moment shot scene where Fred there's a quick moment shot where Fred Flintstone It's at this rain toss. You know at the midway games you have the rain toss and you have other midway games. Well, okay, well there's a moment scene where Fred Flintstone's character is throwing the rain toss at one of the midway games. Well, as before Fred Flintstone throws the rain toss, there's a little girl standing one next to him. You don't see the front of her, you see the back of her. But that little girl standing right next to Fred Flintstone. That little girl standing right next to Flintstone at the rain toss at the midway. That little girl, that's actually Kristen Stewart. Yeah, but we don't see her face or but But if you go online, if if you go online and you look at the pictures of her from that from that movie, you'll have a picture of how she looked like when she was young when she did this movie, when she appeared in this movie. But but either you believe it or not, Kristen Stewart appeared in the Flintstones Beer Rock Vegas, but as an extra, as a background extra, I guess you could say. Because her mother apparently was a script supervisor, and her mother told the people making the film, "Can you put my daughter in you as a background extra?" And that's what they did. So her mother asked the people involved in the movie, "Can you put my daughter Kristen Stewart in your movie as a background extra?" And that's what they did. So remember, if you go to the scene where Fred Flintstone is at the rain toss midway arcade. There's a little girl standing right next to him. That's Kristen Stewart. Even though you don't see the front of her, but that's her. I think she was like 10 years old when she did the movie because this movie, Viva Rock Vegas, The Flintstones, came out the year 2000. And actually, me and Kristen Stewart were actually the same age. Actually, me and her are actually the same age. We were me and her were both Me and her, we were both 10 years old when I saw her in the Flintstones movie, or when she did that movie. I was about 10 years old also. So me and her, we're kind of like the same age. So, yeah, if you didn't know that, Kristen Stewart, her Kristen Stewart goes by the character as a background extra character name, just called the Rain Toss Girl. Well, that's her. If you didn't know that, so a little trivia for all of you if you didn't know that. But yeah, so Kristen Stewart, even though you don't see the front of her character, but she's in the movie as a background extra. I don't think that makes sense to all of you. But yeah. Let's see. Okay, everybody, that would do it of Sebastian's Decent Family and Kid Movies Part 1. Thank you for watching episode 56. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and you'll get new contents Mondays. Thank you for watching Sebastian's Movie Game Time, episode 56. And I'll see all of you at the movies. Hello, YouTube viewers out there. It is Sebastian's Movie Game Time. And I know I recorded yesterday, episode 56. But this is like there were see I had so many I had so many decent family kid movies I've seen lined up to talk about, but I thought, you know what? So you know how I said yesterday that yesterday was like part one of Sebastian's decent family kid movies that I've seen that I want to be talking about. So this is like a little continuation of episode 56. Uh, so, and so let's finish off what I left off, shall we? We have Spirit, Stallion of the Cameroon. It's about a Mustang Cameroon horse who's going to return to his homeland. Um, It's an animated movie, Spirit the Stallion of the Cameroon. It stars the voice talents of Matt Damon. I get Spirit Stallion of the Cameroon, 1 out of 3 stars. We have Daddy Daycare. It's about two men who who start their own business as they open up a daycare center for their kids and other kids. It stars Eddie Murphy, Jeff Garland, Angelica Houston, Steve Zahn, and Regina King. Daddy Daycare, I give it 1 out of 3 stars. We have Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat. It's about the adventures of two siblings who meet a fun loving cat where their mother is at work. This is based on a book by Dr. Seuss, The Cat in the Hat. It stars Dakota Fanning. Dakota Fanning was like a young girl in this movie. So um, Spencer Roislin, Mike Myers as the cat, Kelly Preston, and Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin plays like the not so mysterious, not so good kind of neighbor character, I should say. Dr. Seuss is the cat in the hat. Give it 1 out of 3 stars. We have Kangaroo Jack. It's about two best friends who go out to Australia as they meet a woman and a kangaroo who has steal the money from their boss that they work for. It stars Jerry O'Connell, Anthony Anderson, Estella Warren, Michael Shannon, and Christopher Walken. Kangaroo Jack. Um, I give Kangaroo Jack 1 out of 3 stars. We have Spy Kids in 3D. It's about a brother who puts uh, who puts on 3D glasses as he goes inside a game to go to find his sister from a mad genius. This is the third entry to the Spy Kids films. It stars Alexa Alexia Vega, um, Antonio Banderas, Carla Gugino, Ricardo Montalban, Selma Hayek, and Sylvester Stallone. Spy Kids 3D. Oh, and also too, Ayan Glenn Powell was in this movie Spy Kids 3D when he was like a young kid before he's a star now. Glenn Powell, if you didn't know that. So, Spy Kids 3D. I wouldn't say it's the best of the. I wouldn't say it's the best of the Spy Kids movies, but it was fun. It was fun, and this is a their like supposed final chapter. But um, I guess Spy Kids 3D Game Over 1 out of 3 stars. We have Elf. It's about it's about a man elf who comes to New York who finds out that his biological real father is on the naughty list, as he must teach his father the ways of the spirit of Christmas. This is a John Farrell directed movie, Elf. It stars Will Ferrell, James Caan, Zoe Deschanel, and Bob Newhart. Mm, I get Elf 1 out of 3 stars. We have Scooby Doo and the Monster of Mexico. It's about Scooby Doo and the gang as they go to Mexico, where they solve a new mystery of the urban legend. Then we solve the case of the mysterious urban legend of Mexico, the El Chupacabra monster. It stars the voice talents of Casey Kasem. I get Scooby Doo and the Monster of Mexico 1 out of 3 stars. We have Zoom. It's about superheroes. It's about a superhero named Jack who's been called back to transform a group of ragtag kids into superheroes. It's a spy family movie. It stars Tim Allen, Courtney Cox, Chevy Chase, Spencer Breslin, and Kate Marr. Zoom is supposed to be like a ripoff to the Spy Kids and Gadget Toys kind of ripoff kind of thing. I guess you could say. I get Zoom 1 out of 3 stars. We had Cheaper by a Dozen too. It's about the Baker family and their kids compete against another family as both families are on vacation at a lake resort. It's a sequel to the remake of the first Cheaper by a Dozen. It stars Steve Martin, Bonnie Hunt, Hilary Duff, Tom Welling, Piper Pebble, Morgan York, Taylor Lautner, Alison Stoner, Carmen Electra, and Eugene Levy. It's not as good as the first remake of Cheaper by a Dozen, but it was still fun. I get Cheaper by a Dozen too. 2 out of 3 stars. We had Scooby Doo return to Zombie Island. It's about Scooby Doo and the gang as they go to an island where they believe that it's the same island that they were on a long time ago and they solved it before. That was called Moon Skull Island, but now it's like a tourist attraction now. This is like long year sequel to the first Scooby Doo on Zombie Island, but this is a sequel that was made like years later. But like I said in the description of this sequel, it's about Scooby Doo and the gang. They come to an island where they realize it's the same island that they encountered and solved the mystery before, like years ago, back in '98, when that Scooby Doo and Zombie Island came out. So when I heard about Scooby Doo and the sequel Zombie Island, I was like, really? They're gonna do Scooby Doo a sequel to Zombie Island? But why? Nobody. I mean, I don't think Scooby Doo fans people ha- haven't seen Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. So why they're making a sequel? So apparently they did make a sequel called Scooby Doo Return to Zombie Island. But I have to be honest, it really wasn't why. I mean, it was good to see. It was kind of cool to see Scooby Doo and the Mystery Gang. They go to an island where they were on years ago. But yeah, it wasn't quite as good as on Zombie Island. If I have to be honest, the sequel was not very good. It was okay, but wasn't that too good. But at least there's a first one out there. So Scooby Doo Return to Zombie Island stars the voice talents of Matthew Lillard, who plays the voice of Shaggy, obviously. Scooby Doo Return to Zombie Island. Mm, even though it was good to see Scooby Doo and the gang on their return to the island where they were on years ago, but I guess Scooby Doo Return to Zombie Island 1 out of 3 stars. We have Home Alone. This is Home Alone. This is considered Home Alone 5, which is called Home Alone, the holiday heist. It's about a young boy and his sister who gets stuck at home where three burglars try to break into the house where the boy sets up the iconic booby traps for the three burglars thieves. Um like I said, this is the fifth chapter to the Home Alone films. I mean, you had the first one, you had the second, the third, the fourth. So now this is the fifth one. The Holiday Heist is called. Home Alone, the Holiday Heist. It stars Malcolm McDowell and Debbie Mazur. Um, Again, like I talked about in Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House was not that very good. Well, same thing that goes with this one, Home Alone 5. But for some reason, if you want to see Home Alone 5 and Home Alone 4, they're both on Disney Plus. If you have Disney Plus out there, if you want to see those two Home Alone films, if not, then don't bother. But if you do, they're both of those movies are on Disney Plus. So I give Home Alone the Holiday Heist 1 out of 3 stars. We had Dora and the Lost City of Gold. It's about a teenager girl named Dora the Explorer who meets new friends as they go on an adventure to save her parents and find the mysterious gold city. It stars Isabel Moner, Michael Pena, and Evelyn Gloria. Now Dora and the Lost City of Gold. The character Dora is based on an animated cartoon show series called Dora the Explorer. I think it came out it came out like what Nick Jr. TV show or the channel like the Nick Jr. or Nickelodeon channel. I don't know, but there's a live action movie called Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Um, I gave Dora and the Lost City of Gold 1 out of 3 stars. We have Hotel Transylvania. This is the first Hotel Transylvania. It's about a human person who falls for the daughter of Dracula as he hides the human away from the other monsters. This is a fun Halloween kind of movie. It's starring the voice talents of Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Andy Andy Samberg, Selena Gomez, Steve Buscemi, David Spade, Molly Shannon. There's some good little fun Halloween moments in this Hotel Transylvania movie. It's a different take on the Hotel Transylvania monster myth, urban legend. Like I said, different take on it. I thought it was very interesting. I give the first Hotel Transylvania 2 out of 3 stars. We have the sixth Home Alone movie. This is the sixth chapter in the Home Alone trilogy. It's called Sweet Home Home Alone. It's about two couples who plan to break into a kid's house where the kid's home alone. Like I said, this is the sixth entry chapter to the Home Alone, and I think that final Home Alone film, I believe. Um, do you know but do you know who I was kind of happy to see back in this sixth Home Alone film? Is Kevin McAllister's what is it, his other brother, Buzz? The one who has a tarantula spider in the first Home Alone in his room. Well, the Buzz character comes back, but in this Home Alone sixth chapter, this Home Alone film, he's a police officer. So the Buzz character is actually a police officer or like a patrol officer. And it's the same actor, it's the same actor person who played the Buzz character from the first two Home Alone movies. So that Buzz character is back as played by the same actor. So it was kind of cool to see the Buzz character come back as like a patrol officer in this sixth entry of the Home Alone films. Or Home Alone film. Sweet Home Alone stars Ali Kemper, Rob Delaney, Archie Yates, Kenyon Thompson, and Divin Ratray, who played the Buzz character from the first two Home Alones, who's back as the Buzz character is older now and he was like a patrol officer. So it was kind of fun. But and again, and yet again, like I said about Home Alone 5, The Holiday Heist, and Home Alone 4, if you're looking for those two Home Alone movies I talk about, well, this new Home Alone movie, Home Sweet Home Home Alone, is also on Disney Plus. So if you want to bother watching on Disney Plus, or if not, then I guess it's okay. But so let me go over again. You have Home Alone 4, Home Alone 5, which is the holiday heist, and Home Alone 6, which is Home Sweet Home. Um, all those free Home Alone direct to video movies, they're on Disney Plus if you didn't know that. So I give Home Sweet Home Alone and the ending. And the ending kind of pos the ending of it kind of the ending of Home Sweet Home Alone on Disney Plus. It kind of has like a whole different ending because you know how the other past Home Alone movies endings how it ends. Well, this is like a new different kind of ending for our Home Alone movie. So I give Home Sweet Home Alone 1 out of 3 stars. We have Dragonheart, A New Beginning. It's a prequel to the first Dragonheart movie. It's about a young stable man who befriended a young dragon as they must fight a ruthless knight. It stars Christopher Masterson. Dragonheart New Beginning, like I said, it's a prequel to the first before the first Dragonheart movie. I give Dragonheart A New Beginning 1 out of 3 stars. We have Dennis the Menace Christmas. It's about Mr. Wilson who wishes that he would not have met Dennis the Menace as Mr. Wilson decides to get into the Christmas spirit. It's a direct to movie or video, Dennis the Menace Christmas. It stars Robert Wagner and Louis Fletcher. Dennis the Menace Christmas. Mm, give a 1 out of 3 stars. We have Scooby Doo and the Loch Ness Monster. It's about Scooby Doo and the gang as they go to Scotland to visit Daphne's cousin, where they must solve a brand new mystery of the Loch Ness Monster that is scaring and terror that's scaring the guesses. It's starring the voice talents of Frank Welker, Casey Kasem. Scooby Doo and the Loch Ness Monster. Give it 2 out of 3 stars. And we have the last movie of the. It's called Scooby Doo and the Alien Invaders. It's about Scooby Doo and Shaggy who meet two stranger people, while the rest of the gang as they must solve a mystery that involves strange alien spaceships and aliens themselves. Um, It stars the voice talent of Scott Ains, Mary Kay Bergman, and BJ Ward. I give Scooby Doo and Alien Invaders 2 out of 3 stars. Okay, everybody, and for real this time, this is the concluded end to the rest of the movies, like the continuation of my decent family kid movies that I've seen. So thank you for watching episode 56 again. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and you'll get new content episodes Mondays. So thank you, and I'll see all of you at the movies.